Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? It is Wednesday night. Typically, you're here watching us coming through. Is everything coming through? I might be muted, or is not. Can you hear me? Is everybody? Can people hear me? Muted. Oh, it's all good. Can hear me? Yay! Excellent. Okay. All right. So hopefully you all can work this. It's all coming through. Perfect. Okay, good. I got me scared a little bit for a second. I wasn't seeing it coming through for a second. I just wanted to make sure. Uh, okay. Perfect. Thank you, Guy. Thank you, everyone. All right, so we're here. I'm here in the broadcast booth. Little technical difficulties, but we're getting through. I'm here with Derek Meerkat and Johnny Reno. Derek, how are you tonight?
I'm fantastic.
That is good to hear. Good to hear. And Johnny, how are you tonight?
I am great. Glad to be here for the Prospect Bowl.
So excited to have you both with me. Yeah, I'm excited about this game. This is, we've seen this has been a long time coming. I know we did it last season. And I know everybody was sort of like, "Hey, are you guys going to do that again?" It might have been around like week 3 or week 4 of the season. I'm like, "Absolutely, let's do this again." So, back by popular demand, we sent out the voting. So, for those of you that were in the league around week 5, week 6. That was when the voting happened. There was about a week of voting and building out the rosters, getting everybody pumped and hyped for this. Sent out the full rosters. We've got 30 people on each team that are based on humans, that are human created, user created players. That were voted in by you. There was 106, I believe, votes that went into determining who got what position on either of these teams. And it's bound to be a super fun game. Again, I want to give a little bit of some ground rules for how this may play out. So it's sort of similar to what you might have seen in some of the preseason games if you were around before the season started that we had hosted. We've got both teams have a generic, I guess you could say, coach. There was no game planning that went into it. There are both teams are using the exact same playbook, made up of a variety of plays that I actually put together, that are bound to might make up for some exciting football. Some big risky plays, some things that you might not see perhaps in the pros, but bound to be a fun game with that. The ratio, there's in the settings you can set the ratio between pass and uh, and run, and that is set to 50% for both teams. So again, really the only thing that's different between both of these teams are the actual players and personnel on the field. So that's really going to help you guys shine, or not, depending on how your teams play out. And that's really the fun part of this. So again, we've got 8 teams in the minor leagues, and we sort of divided it right in the middle, geographically. So on the west side, we've got San Jose, Tacoma, Albuquerque, and Lincoln. And then on the east, we've got Lexington, Madison, Annapolis, and Ottawa, both representing 4 versus 4. The best of, or those that were voted in. Um, so yeah, that's a little like not ground rules, foundational information that's probably useful going into this. Uh, Derek or Johnny, do you have any excitements or any predictions or anything that you think that would be our hot take on this game?
I think it's going to be some big offenses.
Yeah,
Yes, we might see a high score here.
I know in the preseason games we had, I think 2 or 3 of the games finished with like 1 or 2 point difference. This game may be like that. It may be very different. Um, it may be pretty even on both sides. We've got the huge runner Randy Squarebush on the east. We've got Jordan Sipe on the west. Holding it down on the quarterback side. You know, uh, Great defensive line. So again, we've got full defensive lines. We've got 3 offensive linemen on both sides. We're going to see how that plays out. Four wide receivers out there, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs. two quarterbacks, and I've split. That's another thing I should mention for this game. I went in specifically into the game and divided up the different positions so that people were getting a fair amount of gameplay out there in different formations, different packages. So you should be able to see your player out on the field, a variety of ways. I wanted to make sure that people got their time on the field. So pretty much we've got four linebackers. We don't typically see that. Usually you see the two outside linebackers and then one inside. Yeah, Johnny, do you have any thoughts on this game so far, or this game?
Well, I'm just excited to see it play out. I think with 30 live players on each side of the ball, there's no telling, which way it would go. Could be high power offenses, but man, you got a lot of solid defensive players as well. So I think it'll be a very competitive game.
I'd like to think so as well. And actually, we're hearing in the broadcast booth, we're hearing a little bit of this crowd here in Boston. At the East headquarters. Sacramento is the headquarters for the West Division. They had all their team, from the variety of different places that they reside, fly over here to Boston. They're hosting it here in Boston. It's a beautiful day out here. Turning into twilight as the night evening goes on. The crowd here, the hometown crowd in the East, is getting a little restless. I wonder if we should go out to the field. I think they're getting ready for the coin toss.
Let's do it.
So the East are represented in this medium gray with red highlights, and the West is here with blue and the gray. Easy to tell them apart. So again, we've got the highlights here of the West players: Sipe and Melillo, Tita Queen, Jason Peace. Here we've got Randy Squarebush, Cyrus Jive out there, Arain Darby, Ty Woodson. Variety of the who's who of this season's SFLm. Great to see all these players sharing. Like, I think Young Vat was talking about sharing the locker room with his cousin, Rego De Niro. I think it's cousin. It's just a fun time to be able to shed some of your rivalries and just get out there and have fun, and representing your West or East division. So it looks like the West will receive and the East will defend that north goal. So for the East, that is Caleb Richards about to kick off. And here we go.
Here we go.
Received around the 7-yard line and hit pretty hard at the 23, knocked down. That is number 88, TT Crystal on the reception there. And that at the 24-yard line is where the West will be starting.
Crystal is a former teammate of mine in Mexico City.
Ah, awesome. Here we see number 1, Jordan Sipe, going underneath center with the I formation behind him. Hand off to the running back. That's number 21. That is Logan Lee out of Lincoln.
But nowhere.
No, being stopped for a tackle for a loss by Jobu McSlim, number 95, out of Madison. Here he is in a weak power I, it looks like. Under center. Steps back, throws to the right, caught for a gain of about 3 on that play. That again was Logan Lee on that catch. Third and 8 now. They're going 4 wide receivers in a no empty backfield. Back to pass. Throws it over to the top. tipped away, but almost
almost had a
taken.
pick.
Yeah, Lottie Lewin
Almost.
intended for that reception, but blocked by a defensive back. So it looks like he'll be forced to punt on 4th and 8.
I just get done saying it's going to be a shootout, and then we get a 3-and-out right away.
It's a long game. I mean, we're only a minute and 10 seconds in, so. And these players have not played. They've only had time to practice today, maybe yesterday, based on when they flew into Boston here on the East Coast. The punt is away. Fair caught at the 41, 42, it looks like. And that is where we'll see the East offense come and take their shot. Decent starting position as starting positions go. Mickey in the chat talking about Reno's, mark my words, it's going to be a shootout. That's funny.
Definitely, I don't think it's going to be a shootout in this one.
So here we see a strong spread handed off to the running back. Number 41 on the tackle. That's Jax Nukes coming up and tackling the runner. We've got both quarterbacks on the backside. There's number 7. That's Cyrus Jive, the starting quarterback, and then we'll see Gene Struthers out there as well. Looks like Jive is in black sleeves, and we've also got Marcus Duncan, which I think is behind him. Jive back to pass, throws over to the left, caught successfully for about 8 yards on that by number 16. Is able to haul it in. That is Quag Mam.
Just spun right into those guys.
Best of intentions. You try to get free out there. There we see Randy Squarebush lining up in looks like a far formation. Handoff to him. Able to break through a tackle, but stopped right at the line for a 4th and 1. That is quite a hard-nosed hit right there by number 55. That is Sabo Kanan, outside linebacker for Lincoln on that stop.
I was about to say we're about to see Randy with 3 contracted linemen, but none of them block for him. So
So we've got, looks like Jive under center again. Duncan in the backfield decides to take it on 4th and 1. Successfully passes successful to number 89, 88. That must be Ron Haynes, the one and only tight end for Madison, out there with that first down.
Yeah, nice call there. I really thought it was going to be one of those, typical, fake it and then punt. But
Absolutely. Yeah, you usually don't see them going for it. Here we saw a weak power eye again. Pass over to Duncan on the side. Able to get about 6 or 7. 6 on that play, being taken down by number 37 for the defense there. That is Sam Blotner coming up from the safety position to take him down. Sam Blotner with San Jose this minor league season, also with Charleston Predators. You see what I think is a Jax formation. Handoff over to Randy Squarebush, powering through, leaping over, not able to be taken down, and can he power it through all the way up to the 7-yard line?
Yeah, that's Squarebush at his normalcy.
Let's see. Yeah, it did. The people falling down in front of him didn't stop him. He's just a freight train running down that field.
There's some good blocking though. I saw.
Agreed. Yeah.
It was.
Let's see if they can get 7 from this. There's number 10, Gene Struthers, also in black. It must be a little cool out here for these Westerners, also in black sleeves. Duncan in the backfield, handoff to Duncan, off to the side. Not quite able to make anything. In fact, takes just a little bit of a loss on that run. A lot of effort there. We see number 49. 49 is Dante Grimm, probably in on that stop, it appeared. Making his way up to that.
You can make a meme out of that.
Duncan again in the backfield. Hand off to Duncan, run up the middle. Able to get around 3 on that play. Taking down my number 55 again. That is Sabo Kanan. Called it. We'll see if we'll call his name a lot more if they keep running up the middle like that.
It's got to be a pass here, though, right?
I don't think so. Square bush.
You think square bush? Well, it'd be a good call.
Oh, it's a pass,
No.
play fake, play action.
Nice.
And they
grab.
get into the, look at that, posing number 89. That is Orain Darby.
Darby.
Taken in for 6. And then we'll see Caleb Richards, more than likely, out to chip in for the extra point. Nice little deception there by Struthers.
Yeah.
A solid pass, putting it right where he needs to go. Darby not doing a good job of not running too far, too fast out of bounds, and able to turn up just with enough time to make it in that to cut that corner.
Tell you what, I saw a lot of us Struthers and Darby last season when I was on Annapolis.
He has a new Orain has a new nickname, Deep Threat Darby, I think it was.
Yep.
Like it.
There, he was only six yards in, but nice extra point tack on by Caleb Richards out of Annapolis. TT Crystal set to return. Kick is up. And it's fielded around the 5-yard line. Takes it up pretty much right up the gut. About the 26, 27-yard line. Not a terrible return. Nothing special, but solid on that. And that's pretty much what you would expect. You know, the mid-20s is exactly what you'd expect for a return. Here we see a pretty heavy set on the line with a fullback and halfback behind him. Little deception handoff, maybe a counter there.
Didn't seem like it fooled anybody.
Not quite. Got one on the play. I feel like it did better than what it could have been.
Yes. I saw that hole opening up. I thought he was going to run away with it.
Agreed. There was just a safety, that I think had come up and was able to stop him. Here we see a split pro formation. Out back in the gun. Back to pass. Throws over to the left. Got his man for a gain of 4 as he gets hit out of bounds. That was Tita Queen, her first reception, I believe, on the night. Now, a 3rd and 5. Do you run here with someone? We've got Jay-Z Bacon or Logan Lee in the backfield, or do you?
I say you got to pass here.
Got to pass it.
Yeah, definitely.
Drops back a long pass, just over the line. They were lucky to get that first down, but it's as if they drew it up that way. That was number 15 on the reception, Jay Viper. It was nice ability by Viper to be able to hold onto the ball and notice where that line was and just sort of allow the defender to push him over that line. Back to pass again. Pass over to the flat, to the running back, it looked like. Not able to get anywhere. Ran out of room there.
And they got some good tacklers there in these. No one's breaking them.
That was Logan Lee there on that reception. Here he is again, lining up in the backfield. An offset eye. Back to pass. Another one over to Logan Lee. Not able to really find his ground underneath him as he makes that catch. Taking a little bit of extra time. Loses a yard and a half or so on that play. Third and 12. This might be where they, this is, again, number 1, Jordan Sipe here out there under center. Going 4 wide, empty backfield.
Throw it deep.
We'll see. Back to throw. Nope. Takes the short option. The deep options might have been a little too covered at that point. So taking what you can get. Lottie Lou on that successful reception, but that brings them to 4th and 7. They're punting from, the line of scrimmage is at the 40. So this might just be, in that 20s to 30s where the TT Crystal, I think, is. I'm sorry. Let's see. Quag Nam, I think, is set to return there. Maybe not. 24. Ty Woodson, I guess, on the reception there. The return. Interestingly. So here we see from the 32 what the East will have in store. They're going to go back to, they had been seeing success with Randy Squarebush. Here I think the back is Duncan in a heavy formation. Hand off to Duncan, off to the side. Little stop and pause, finds that gap and shoots it. Actually, I think that is Randy Squarebush. My apologies. Both wearing, I think, black sleeves.
Looks like Randy had his dancing shoes on there for a second.
He's doing a square dance, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Surprised you didn't think of that, Derek.
I try to think as many as I could.
Back to the pass. Nice pass just under the line of scrimmage, but it was pretty open to get another 3 or 4 yards on that play. That's number 84, Reggio De Niro. Nice little play action by the quarterback. And yeah, there was nobody within 5 yards of him, so he was pretty easily able to fall forward, make a little bit of a run. Mm-hmm. There's number 21, Randy Squarebush again. Set behind Scott Powell blocking for him in this I spread formation. Back to pass, short drop back. Successfully caught for gain of 5. That is number, I think, 89 again, Arain Darby.
It's like he paid for that catch, though.
Got some bruises. Might be coming tomorrow. A little ice bath will do wonders for him tonight. I believe that's Duncan in the backfield. Struthers underneath center. Handoff to Duncan. Did a pretty good job of getting through a little hole that was there, but just was stopped pretty quickly on that outside. The number 37, that is Sam Blotner coming up from the safety position to make that tackle.
With all these contracted guys on defense, they really rushed the line of scrimmage right away.
Yeah, they've got some good run coverage abilities out there, and they're able to sort of recognize that run. Struthers, I think, dropped back. Caught it in the air after a little tip. Taken down. I feel like this was, I don't know if it was passing into pretty hard coverage. I don't think the receiver was quite ready for it.
Is it off his head? Is he playing hacky sack up there?
I don't know. That's number 88, Ron Haynes out there, making at least a super heads up play and be able to grab that tip ball. And just like how they draw it up. Excellent guy. Drops back to pass over the middle, deep, and it is caught. Taken all the way up to the 14-yard line. It's number 84, Reggio De Niro again. He was able to use his skills, I believe, to get open. Seems to be pretty well open there. Then just slows down just a bit to make the catch. And just that turnaround allowed the defenders to come and get him, tackle him.
What are we thinking here, Squarebush? Oh, they're not even going to play off in time for the end of the quarter.
Yep, just the change of quarter. They'll run off to the other side, switch sides quick. It's a toss up. I could see, first down, try to see if you can run it in with one of the running backs, or maybe do a short, some sort of short pass, like an out pass or something. Well, I guess
Well,
they're got 14
Squirbush,
yards. Another spread formation here out of the weak formation. Hand off to Duncan, I believe. Nope, that's Squarebush powering through. Gain of 8 on that run. No, 4 on that run. Sorry. Wrong math. We saw 94. That is Matthias Citrion, inside linebacker. They're in a 4-3 package, the defense. Handoff again to Squarebush. Was stopped about a yard shy of that first down marker, and then the defenders from the back just seemed to push him over that line.
Yeah, he just powers his way for a first down.
like
Comes in and hits. Who is that first to hit? Number 30 something. Might have been Sam Blotner again. Number 7, Cyrus Jive underneath center.
Oh, we all know what's going on here, right?
You never know.
I think we do.
There we go. It's Squarebush run. But loss of a yard on that play. It was a slight counter. That was Bryant James on the tackle, number 33 from San Jose.
I feel like if he had cut in earlier, he might have gotten in there.
Yep. Very close. Struthers under center, hands it off. That is number 23 here, Marcus Duncan, for a gain of 2. Inching their way closer. Now they've got 2 yards before they get another 7 on that scoreboard. We'll see if the West have the strength to see if they can stop it.
Perfect time for a play action.
You see a near pro formation. Back to pass over the middle and leaped and caught. Just a floater dropped out there. Caught and taken down successfully by number 34. That is Scott Powell out of Lexington, fullback.
Yeah, nice pass to the fullback.
Showing some soft hands there. And Gene just sort of, again, floating it up there like a little bird. Whee! For a second, I thought he was just throwing it away.
Well, he was surrounded by blue jerseys there, so I wouldn't have blamed him if he did.
Nice way to keep your composure there, Struthers. So we'll hear we will see Caleb Jacobs from Annapolis kick another extra point for them. Richards again to kick. And TT Crystal to receive. Taken out to the 27-yard line. And that's where the West will take over.
It's like when they got tackled, they flew back about 2 yards.
Quarterback under center, off quick pass off to the side in the flats to the running back, it looked like. That is Jay-Z Bacon on the reception. Picks up just a yard. Jay-Z out here from San Jose.
West needs a big drive here to get back in this game.
Drops back. There's some pressure, and he's taken down. But the
Ooh,
East
sack.
take down the quarterback. Rachel Menner coming in for that sack, number 40. Just pushing that offensive lineman, number 68. Looks like, I think that's a generic linebacker.
But she was just like, "Excuse me, I'm gonna."
You're in my way, sir. Here we see a gun straight. Oh, totally busting up through that offensive line. That is Jobu McSlim coming through hot and heavy.
He was just like, "We doing sacks now? Okay."
This East is really coming out to play right now. The punt is away. Caught her on the 45. Not taken very far. 2 yards on the gain. You see the East number 7 Cyrus Jive stepping up to the center. No, it's in the shotgun position. And a triple left, it looks like. Take the snap. Not too far of a drop back. Little out route for good for 5 yards. 89 Darby on that reception again. It's been showing out pretty well out there. Strong I formation here. Expecting a run. Nope. It's pass off to the side. Squarebush with the reception and met with a pair of defensive backs. Nice little design screenplay that seemed to take the West defense for a ride further out, giving Squarebush room to receive and run. Little handoff again to Squarebush, taken down at the line of scrimmage. Number 44 on that tackle was Garrett Evans from Tacoma out there.
I think the West haven't had enough of Randy Squarebush, so they're saying you're done.
They're hungry. So here we see number 10, Gene Struthers under center. We've got a pro formation, one receiver at the top, one at the bottom. Both backs behind him. He drops back, handoff up the middle for a gain of 7 on that run. That is Randy Squarebush again, number 21, out of Annapolis. So as you get further, Derek and or Johnny, like what type of approach do you take, trying to get back in this game, being down by 14 points? You've still got a lot of time in the half, over 5 minutes. Nice reception here. Oh, up to 4th and inches.
Well, I think you always want to say you got to stop Squarebush, but it's so hard to do that I think the key is you need to force mistakes, get some turnovers. That's the best way they're going to win this.
And in this game, we've got Squarebush isn't out there for every single rush as well, so he's splitting his time out there with Marcus Duncan out of Madison. But the coaches tend to favor plays that have worked well in further in the past previous quarter, etc. So if they find when that works, they're going to keep running it. So it may be just trying to shut him down, but also they've been able to hit Darby out there, and Gennaro been lightening them up down the field as well. Seeing like they've been the better team to be clicking on all cylinders after a short time of just simply playing together. And there we
Yeah,
saw. Sorry, there we saw Caleb Jacob. I'm sorry, Caleb Richards. Thanks for the correction. Caleb Richards with the point extra. Sorry, the field goal for 3. What were you saying, Johnny?
I was just going to say for the West, I think offensively, it's even though they're down 17-0, it's still too early to really go into air it out mode. I think they just need to play their game and even utilize the run game. There's still 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the second quarter, so no reason to get too overwhelmed with it. Just play their game.
Absolutely.
I think when they do pass, they got to pass more than 2 or 3 yards on the field.
There was that scared me a little bit,
Oh,
but here
man.
we have this might be what they needed. Let's get the running back there taking it far back behind, way behind the line of scrimmage. That was Logan Lee, somehow then able to change direction and make his way quite far upfield. We see him going 5 yards or so backwards, only to make it further and gain around 20 or 30 yards on that play. That is a surprise. We saw that in some of the preseason games with Logan Lee. He was a spritey, agile little. I don't want to say little. I don't think he's terribly little, but the way he moves, he seems, like a rabid mouse out there moving around.
And the defense got so confused; they didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I thought for sure that was going to be a loss of 3.
There we saw a successful catch over to Jay Viper for a gain of 7. Here we see a heavy formation, I formation. Handoff to the running back, not going anywhere. In fact, it looks like a loss of 1 on that play. Drops back to pass and taken down for a loss of 4 on that play. Big sack. Number 77 is Rocco Rossi. Ty Woodson there, number 24. Little highlight from Lexington. Set to receive this punt. Punt is away. And caught around the 27, 28. Brought up to the, the 23, 24. Brought up to the 26.
I mean, on a positive note, they push field position back, so they're not getting the ball on the other side of the 50.
True. We'll see what the West have in store for them. Quarterback under center with the offset eye behind him. 2 receivers at the bottom, 1 at the top. Handoff. No, it's a play action. Pass over the middle, but not able to complete. Number 44 breaking that thing up. That is Garrett Evans, outside linebacker, in on that deflection, intended for Darby.
They got lucky. There's a lot of blue jerseys in that area.
Two receivers at the top in a twins formation. Handoff to the fullback, not able to get anything working there. Louis Negron, defensive tackle, in on that stop. Got empty backfield, drops back to pass, and he's taken down. West seems to have been bolstering their defense and really getting hungry at this this drive. Number 88, I'm sorry, 98. That is Kratos Maximus on that sack. Bringing up 4th and 13, forcing the East to punt.
Yeah, the West needed to stop there badly, so great job by the defense.
Number 8, the back to punt. I believe TT Crystal down to receive for the West. Caught on the 45, taken up to about the 47, 48.
West needs points here in this drive.
Yeah, they do need to get some little handoff. Stops right at the line of scrimmage. That was number 47. That looked like it was Jay-Z Bacon trying to run through that middle part. Stopped by Alvarado. Little run up the middle. They're in a hurry-up mode right now. Gain of 2.
There we go.
Nice pass.
Big play.
Dylan, hurry up.
The East able to take down on that hurry up the quarterback. Back to pass, a little play action. Able to stay up, a little duck thrown.
Oh,
Able to complete that pass. It's number 15, that was Jay Viper on that reception. Just getting backed up by that offensive line. And, you know, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck. But 3rd and 1. Let's see if they can have. They've got 2 opportunities to get in the end zone, or if they just simply take the 3 points, or can they get that first down here? Back to pass from the gun formation over the middle to a wide open receiver. It's number 82 is DJ Bandit, tight end.
That was huge because if I remember right, West got the ball in the first half, so East is going to have the ball.
yeah, that is huge. I think them getting putting 7 on the board here right before halftime makes it a much more interesting game.
So here we see our first, I guess, 4 points. Mickey Melillo out there. Mickey, there you go. You got it, Nooch. Let's see if just make it through the uprights. That right. Let's see. Here we go. And it's good. Mickey! All right. I'm channeling my inner Daniel there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Mickey has missed yet this season, has he?
No, I don't believe he has.
He kicked so hard he was limping off the field there. Must get a leg cramp.
The kickoff is out. East to receiver on the 3-yard line, bringing it out to about the 24. And they'll see what they can do with 33 seconds left. Quarterback under center. Set with a bunch at the top. Tight end to the bottom. Deep back to pass over the middle. Tipped away from the intended receiver. intended for Darby, the deep threat, but the defensive backs, the three of them around him, had something else to say.
Yeah, that was a big play. I figured going into halftime they'd just play it safe, but they're trying to put more points on the board.
Gotta go with Skippy Curtis with the deflection there.
I formation, a pretty heavy formation at the line. Back to pass, throws over to the right side, complete to number 42, Dusty Work, I believe.
Yeah, like Johnny said, I really question the fact that they're throwing the ball here when they're up by 10 points. And they get the ball back.
Here we see an empty backfield, 3rd and 8. We'll see if they can convert here. 23 seconds left in the half. Back to pass. O-line holding up pretty well. Does complete out to their own 48. Gain of about 20 or so. 18, 20. They're in that same empty back formation. Ended up getting it right out of his hands before he was taken down by number 72, Darius Hawkins.
I mean, it makes sense. You got what, 10 seconds left, and 3 timeouts, and you don't call one.
It's not a bad thing, to have that incomplete there. But they do have a lot of, timeouts they could have used.
Yeah.
Here we see a trips tight formation, empty backfield behind him. Actually, no, this is a Hail Mary formation. My bad. Back to throw. Oh, and offensive line does not hold that defense. And it gets to him and sacks him for a loss of 9 or so. They're able to call a timeout, the East was. Talk it over with the head coach, Cyrus Jive. Seeing what they want to do. What was that?
The coach is not happy with Jive, apparently.
Not much he can do if defensive linemen are coming right at you. Hey, Jason France, just pause. Huh. Just kidding. All right. I thought I'd have a little fun there. Oh, Randy Scribush plowing somebody over for about 2 yards. And that'll close out that half.
You gotta love them calling a timeout just to run the ball. It is Square Bush. That could have turned into a touchdown really easily.
So here, let's see what they have. The halftime show has for us. So with the score of East leading the West 17-10, a 10-point ball game, not a terrible deficit, not unrecoverable at all. Looking at it, the East just have been seemingly I think Randy Squirbush had a pretty big run in there that boosted their running their stats there at the rushing yards. But not a terrible outing by both sides. Just the West haven't been able to click quite yet.
Honestly,
Derek,
I think that 30-some yards rushing that the West has is pretty much all that one play.
True. They haven't really gotten Logan Lee with that one sort of amazing run that he had. They just need to, I think they're finding their footing, seeing what they can do. We've seen it before, teams coming back, from greater deficits than this. So
as a safety myself, I'm just waiting for a pick,
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. The one thing we haven't seen is many turnovers.
No, I don't think we have seen one yet.
Yeah. And one of the biggest things I've noticed too is time of possession. It looks like, the East has roughly a 5-minute advantage of time of possession over the West. So I think that's something the West needs to do in the second half is just, control the line of scrimmage and, not so many 3 and outs, a few more first downs. I think they'll be fine. It's still a game.
Definitely. And here we see Scott Powell with a touchdown, a 2-yard receiving touchdown listed there. He's been doing really good for the fullback. We haven't seen Toronto Rivera out there for the West yet, just simply doing the blocking for the backs, even though they've got more than a handful of fullback rushes in there, as well as like a what is it, a F speed out kind of thing in there as well. So this we'll see the East receiving. We'll see then the West defense out there to see what they can do to shut them down and turn this game around, possibly into their favor. But we'll see. So Mickey back to kick the kickoff. East receives just outside of the end zone, bringing it up to about the 25, 24. Quig Mam there on the return. So we see the East quarterback under Gene Struthers, passing over to Duncan, taking it up for 7 yards. That seemed like a pretty nicely designed play. Duncan pretty open in that flat area. Quarterback under center with a heavy offensive line formation there. Both backs behind him. Handoff. Not going anywhere. Stopped for perhaps a loss of 1.
I think they just need to start running backwards first again. That's the only way they get positive yardage.
Well, that was West that ran backwards.
Oh, that's right.
It's not East. So maybe they should take a page out of Logan Lee's playbook and try it out. Here we see an offset eye with a heavy. Oh, and it's a passing over, broken up by number 55. That is Sabo Kanan. Not getting in there, mixing things up, forcing a 4th and 4, and East as having to punt.
Let's have a little talk with the defense at halftime.
Yep, that's exactly what the West needed.
It might be that this is sort of the pendulum swinging the other way, perhaps.
Oh, you can't say that as a broadcaster, Axel.
I apologize, darn it. The pendulum is sitting straight, motionless in the middle of the clock.
Just let it be known if West throws a pick here, it's all on Axel.
We'll have to see. All right, 2nd and 10. See a bunch formation at the top. Quarterback under center, lone back behind him. Back to pass. Passes over to the flat. Wide receiver the running back caught it, but had to find their feet underneath them a little bit. That was Jay-Z Bacon. Not quite, just able to make a little positive momentum after being sort of pushed back by his own pass.
Yeah, Bacon's lukewarm right now, so
nobody likes lukewarm bacon. Well, I guess many people. I'd eat lukewarm bacon.
Well, if it's there, you know.
Yeah. 3rd and 9. Back to pass over the middle.
Nice pass.
It is received or successfully caught by T to Queen. She had a previous play out there deep like that. A nice little post route in the middle. Pretty well defended. I wouldn't say that there was anybody that she blew by, but she both just a perfectly passed ball as well as a nicely timed step to be able to be exactly where she needed to be to
I
reel
think
that
she
in.
looked those 4 defenders in the face and said, "Watch this."
See an I formation with a lone wide receiver at the bottom. A short step back, and the pocket collapses in on him, and taken down.
Seen a lot of sacks so far in this game.
Yeah, these defensive linemen are out here to play, definitely. And there's 4 of them out there versus the 3 human-based um, offensive linemen. So they're a little bit outnumbered per se, but um, doing their best out there. Here we see Bacon again trying to make something happen, but taken down by Isabella Blackwell on the east out of Lexington. Empty backfield again. This is exactly what they needed last time, or where they were last time. Pocket collapsing. Last time the pocket collapsed too, but he was able to get it out right in time. This time not so lucky. Rocco Rossi in on that sack.
It's like a middle school field trip. Everybody's getting sack lunches here.
Brown paper bag. Yep. Let's hope that it's not an egg salad sandwich in there.
Oh, not in this seat.
It's returned up to about the 16-yard line, and that's where the East will take over. You get a look at the offense. Number 10, Gene Struthers out there, lining up under center in a far pro formation. No, a far spread formation. Back to pass, short drop back, pass over the middle, caught successfully for gain of 15 on that play by Rain Darby. And we see a sea of blue uniforms on the defense, taking him down after being caught. Back to pass. Ooh, not able to get away. And Cyrus Jive goes down.
Another sack.
It's number 72, Darius Hawkins there on that sack on Jive. Darius out of Tacoma. Johnny, you're a part of the Tacoma locker room, this season. I assume we had Darius on the show as well. Very, very great guy. I keep forgetting he's on part of Rare Drop Sports. He saw what the SFL was and wanted to join in, and it's partaking totally in the experience.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of good guys and gals in the Tacoma locker room. It was really fun this season. Him being one of them. I'm just, it's always fun to see newcomers and come in and embrace the league and really want to do more. So, again, him being one of them, it was a great experience.
We see Jive, I believe, under center there. Duncan, the lone back behind him, passes over to him. Taken down after about a gain of 1.
And that the West defense is looking a lot better this half, but the offense needs to get some points.
Yeah, right now they've been leaning on that defense a little too heavy so far. Been doing what they can. Yeah, we'll see what this next drive has in store for the West offense.
They should have decent field position here, though.
Puncher back to kick. And the punt is up. Fair caught around the 34. And that's where the West will try again with about 16 minutes left in the game to play out of 44 minutes. So a third of the game left. Number 11, type attack underneath center in a heavy formation. I-backs behind him. Short drop back. Pass over to the side. Caught successfully and taken up. A gain of 8 on that play. That was number 22. The fullback, Toriano Rivera, on that reception and subsequent yards after catch.
Well, there you go. You said you hadn't mentioned his name yet.
Yeah, nice to see him out there. He is out there alongside the quarterback here in the split pro gun formation. Pass. Quarterback steps out, passes over, successfully caught, just threw it right over the defender to T to Queen.
T to Queen again.
22 yards average per reception for her tonight. Just over Ty Woodson's hand.
That was
No
a dime.
Yeah, that was
Ty
Ty
Pack
Woodson.
and yeah,
Dropping dimes out there.
Patak and to Queen have that connection.
Similar I formation, hard or heavy handoff to the running back. Looks like Logan Lee. No, that's JC Bacon. Number 1, Jordan Sipe out there. He was mentioning in the chat how he's shorter than Ty Patak. Easier way to recognize him out there versus Ty. And what looks like a Joker, wings Joker formation. Hand off to the running back. That looked like Logan Lee, number 21. Picking up that first down using his legs. He has that interesting little high step kind of thing. Very agile running back.
I think he broke a couple angles out there.
In fact, I might have to check, but I think he is gold as a running back, and I think he has 3 animations, and one of them might be ankle breaker and or stop on a dime. Here we see a rush by JZ Bacon for a loss of 2 on that one. Rocco Rossi on the stop. How tall am I? In real life, I'm 5'9" or so, 5'9", 5'10". In the game, I'm 6'4".
I'm the same height in the game as I am in real life.
I applaud you with that.
5'11". Well, it's nice though because I can always find my player out there in the defensive backfield because I go, oh, there's a short guy.
That was a nice little out reception, little pass, getting them. Or was it out of bounds? Actually, it looks like it was out of bounds. My bad. Empty backfield, back to pass, over the middle, and caught successfully. This receiver seems to have been just on the inside of the defender, Jay Viper, number 15.
I'm pretty struck on that one.
And number 25, Isabel Blackwell, trying to make something happen, just being on the wrong side of the player on that one. Heavy formation, handoff to the running back, slicing it up, finding those little gaps and holes. JC Bacon ends up with a touchdown there. The hometown team doesn't really enjoy that. They're booing a little bit. The crowd is a little up in arms, but I'm surprised they don't like Bacon.
I mean, only 42% of people like Bacon. I already talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
That's how many people voted for him. So,
for those that don't like Bacon, do you like sausage? Curious what the replacement is if you don't like bacon.
Well, a good breakfast sausage is delicious.
Do you like it? What is it? Do you like it with the casing or non-cased breakfast sausage or patties? Now we're getting into the deep stuff.
The problem with patties, though, is I feel like sometimes they're too greasy.
Mm, I could see that. Now we're getting into the good stuff. Just kidding. Boo Aiken. Yes, exactly. Um, so here, so West start to make a game of it, down only by 3 at this moment. Still have a whole quarter and 2 minutes left. The East receives the return and takes it up to the 26, and that's where they're going to start to see if they can start to pull away again.
With the way the West defense has been playing, we'll see if they can get some points again.
A good look at Gene Struthers there as he struts his way up to the under center. Lone wide receiver at the top, 2 backs behind him. Looks like Duncan behind him. Hands off to Duncan. Duncan runs up the gut for a gain of 12 or so on that run. Seeing some really nice things out of him, a handful of nice plays out of him. Started making his way a little bit better towards the end of the season this year.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, watch this square bush. I can do it too."
Let's go.
Defense lining up in a dime package. Well, the offense is in a pass mode. Passes over the middle, deflected down. There's number 51 on the stop of the pass deflection. It was Jason Peace from Albuquerque.
Thought I was finally going to see a pick there.
Still got a lot of time. They haven't had to force anything quite yet. They've just been, both sides have been, though they want to get things done, they've been trying to find their game. Two backs behind the quarterback. Struthers steps back, passes over to one of them, and is taken down pretty quickly. Loss of 4 yards. That was number 23, Marcus Duncan, trying to see what he could do, but just unexpected pass, perhaps. Not sure if he expected that or if the Gene just felt a little bit too pressured after being sacked more recently.
Yeah, it kind of looked like he was looking downfield, and then he was like, "Here you go," and Duncan was like, "What's this?"
Yeah, you're not supposed to pass to me. Spread formation. Look by the East. The 3-3 nickel by the defense. Play action over the middle. Oh, and it is completed down the field. Pass caught while he was falling down. That was Quake Mam on that reception out of Madison.
I've seen quite the improvement between last year when I played in Annapolis to this year with Gene Struthers.
Yeah, it seems to, as much as they have Randy Squarebush, he's been able to, he's more on the ball with his accuracy, able to complete the passes that are needed to. Another run here by Randy Squarebush, this time actually making, forward progress and getting around 12 on that. I mean, he's had a breakaway, run or two. Not as, obviously he's sharing the handoffs with Duncan, but still not quite as impactful as maybe he has been in previous games. As maybe he's trying to withhold and not injure himself out there in preparation for. Oh no, they lost. Never mind. I'm sorry. Forgot. Yeah, let's get those 4s in the chat. Good job, everybody. We see Cyrus Jive making some adjustments on the line. Empty backfield. Long drop back to pass. Passed over the middle to a nice post route. And caught there by number 84. It's Reggio De Niro on that reception down to the 10-yard line.
They made him pay for that one.
Here's these Struthers. making his way under for a split back formation. Wide receiver at the top and the bottom. Drops back to pass. Pocket is collapsing on him, and he goes down. That's a loss of about 7 or 5. They'll give him 5 on that, where he was first hit. Number 72, Darius Hawkins again on that sack.
Showtime.
And this is a spot where the West is, if they can hold them to only 3 here, that's gonna, then they can take the lead with a simple, I guess say simple, quite poignantly, with a simple touchdown in the next drive, perhaps. Handoff to Marcus Duncan, and Duncan charging forward gets almost to the end zone. A gain of 13 on that run. Look really nice from Duncan.
Thought you cursed him there, Axel.
You see him here sort of lowering his arms just in case the block wasn't going to go through. Until you just mentioned it, Daniel. Good evening, Daniel. How are you tonight?
I rushed home just so I can watch some of this.
Oh, good. Welcome. They've started to put a game together. Randy Squarebush ends up getting that 2-yard gain into the end zone. Boston with a successful extra point here will regain their 10-point lead. We still have 9.5 minutes left, and these timeouts come out. A lot more better time management as we get to the end of the fourth. Still an early game. A lot of time left. And we see Caleb Richards for the extra point. Struthers to hold. It's up, and it's good. The East takes the lead 24-14. This is the time that the West needs to start mounting their comeback if they're going to. They need to, work their way down that field pretty quickly and stop relying on their defense per se. They did pretty well this last drive or two.
Well, Daniel, now you're here, the world would like to know, do you like bacon or sausage better?
Bacon all the way. There's not even a question. I'm sorry, guys. I live on bacon, and not Canadian bacon. That's just ham. I mean actual bacon.
And do you eat that bacon with waffles or pancakes?
Okay, now that's no question. If everybody remembers seeing the merch that one time before it got held down for a second, it'll be back up. It's always about the waffles.
Yes.
And if I don't have waffles, I put 2 pieces of toast, making myself a sandwich out of it.
Excellent. It's like a BLT, but light on the L and the T.
Yeah, that's what I had right before basketball, and boy, did that not help me.
A nice little pass over the middle to number 17, T to Queen, with the gain of 9 there. Just short of that first down. But it's 2nd and 1, so let's see if they can make this conversion. See a pretty heavy wing jokers here. Offset to the strong side. Hand it off. Little cutback. Ends up able to make it past that line of scrimmage for that first down.
See, I don't understand why they ran up the middle there. It was wide open.
There's Logan Lee on that first down. We see 2 wide receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom, both backs behind the quarterback. Little delayed handoff to the running back. Logan Lee again. Mike Mello, haven't said his name yet, but he was in on that stop. Defensive end out of Madison. Whoa. Sipe to the pass over to number 21, Logan Lee. Logan, I don't know if it was a bad pass or a bad hands. Something just didn't connect there.
I think he was eating bacon on the sidelines, and his hand was just too greasy.
Oh, that's lovely. So we've got 3 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. Gun passes deep over to the right side and misses. Incomplete. Intended for Jay Viper, number 25, Isabella Blackwell on the coverage there.
He's bugging out. These defenders keep teasing me with these almost picks.
I think we're going to see one soon.
It's a matter of time, and as the time ticks away, you're gonna be trying to force things where they maybe didn't need to previously. So that's where Jive and the East will take over, is on the West's 46-yard line. Not terrible starting position for them.
Is it too late to jinx the East? I feel like it might be too late.
It's never too late.
Oh, don't do that.
For Daniel to jinx, to curse somebody.
Well, I'm going to do it live on stream right now, and Albuquerque Adams is going to win the championship. You hear it here first.
It's a very powerful curse from him. So
mark my words.
If he curses the East here, I could see just a pick 6 and then like another pick 6 afterwards somehow.
Struthers under center, split backs behind him, receivers at the top and bottom. A long step back, pocket closing in, but passes it successfully. Caught. A number is at 84, I think. Reggie Dinero again.
Daniel, can you believe that there's been no turnovers in this game? Makes me sad.
That's fascinating, because all I saw was 74 yards by Jordan, which is pretty low. So I figured there might have been some turnovers going on.
It's really 2 of the top passing leaders in the league not airing it out.
Handoff to Squarebush, taken down after a gain of 8 on that. Looked like Don Fletcher, perhaps the one taking him down.
Watch him just. Oh, he lost his teeth there.
Ethan Kyle, what are you talking about? You're saying that you're not taking Xander Moon for Seattle and quarterbacks in the mock? Well, what a surprise. My bad.
We've got a twin formation, wide receivers at the bottom. Quarterback under center. Oh, gosh. Okay. Pass over to the running back. Number 34, Scott Powell. Just a little, didn't quite help out there exactly. It tried to make something happen. We've got receivers at the top and bottom. 2 backs behind the quarterback. Handoff, run up the middle. Able to just squeak past that line of scrimmage. Squarebush again. This defensive line is for the West has been really humming pretty well, getting some sacks and pressure, and the defensive backs in the backfield for the West have been doing pretty well in holding them. Able to keep him from a first down. That was Duncan on a nice 8-yard run. Got 2nd and 2 in a spread formation. Quarterback hands off. Looks like to Squarebush again for a gain of 4 or 5 on that run. Heavy formation, lone receiver at the bottom. Both backs behind the quarterback. 3-4 look by the defense. Handoff to running back and stopped at the line of scrimmage. Might have even been, it looks like a loss of 1 on that play. Marcus Duncan was the ball carrier, stopped by the safety, Sam Blotner. We saw a lot of Sam on that first quarter, but then went a little bit quiet. But here he is again. 2nd and 11. Still a chance to get another first down before hitting that end zone. Struthers making some changes at the line of scrimmage. Gets back underneath center. Hikes it, hands off to Squarebush, but instantly caught in the backfield for a loss of 3 on that play. Kratos Maximus on the stop there out of Lincoln. Got 3 receivers at the top, tight end at the bottom, handoff for a loss of 3 for the East. Duncan, the ball carrier, number 44 there on the stop, Garrett Evans. Derek or Johnny? I mean, it's 4th and 16. Do you go for it here? I mean, it's 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes left. That snuck up on me. I just looked. Wow. They're going for the points. Oh, yeah, they're going for the points. That's smart for the East. Make it a 13-point ball game. But, man, that West defense really giving it all that they've got here at the end of the game. Caleb Richards with what would be, a 45-yard field goal or so. And it's good. That puts the East up by 13. I think I might have lost my audio feed with my other partners in the booth. But I will keep on moving. So it's TT Crystal on the reception there. And the West will try to see what they can do from the 25th. Oh, good. I'm glad, Ron, that you're able to hear me still. I don't know if the other 3, Daniel, Derek, or Johnny. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, nobody's responding to anything. Must be a glitch with not really a glitch, but something technologically happening on my end with to see some of their Discord things flapping. But all right. Passes over to the left. That's caught for a first down. West is in a hurry up. Back to throw deep, and it is caught. What a pass and throw. That was caught by Tita Queen. She's been out there that whole night catching those inside post routes that was, the 15, 20 yards down the field.
The curse, I didn't think it would actually come to
Hello,
commentary.
can you guys hear me now?
We could hear you the entire
excellent.
time. You could just
Okay.
couldn't hear us.
I couldn't hear you. Now I can hear you.
We were having a conversation while you were doing this.
Oh, good. So hopefully you guys are back into the swing of things. Great. Okay. Well, we're like this is pretty quiet.
Yeah, no, we were doing stuff, but yeah, you guys
It's
couldn't hear us.
caught down to the 1 yard line. That's Tita Queen again, carrying the team on her shoulders at this moment. Sipe over there throwing.
She's looking for a high draft pick coming.
Number 26, Tyson Thorne on that tackle to save the points.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you couldn't hear me, Axel, or if you were just ignoring us. So
No, I could not hear you. I don't think your stuff was coming through my system all of a sudden. Big sack. But that might have given them a couple extra yards of distance.
Was that sack number 26 there?
A pass over, and it is a touchdown off of a screen. That is Jay-Z Bacon there for that receiving touchdown.
Bacon with receiving and a touchdown today.
That's Bacon on the side.
Man, I'm hungry.
We brought up though while you couldn't hear us.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny did that. The East won last year.
Okay.
They did, yeah. Unfortunately, I was in the losing end of that.
So with this extra point, that'll put them within 6, and then it's up to, can they get an onside kick?
They're gonna have to because they only got one timeout left.
Crazier things have happened.
That's true.
100%.
So this is Mickey Melillo. Mickey will be out there to kick the onside kick.
Much better. I appreciate that.
We'll see what the hands teams can do here. Oh, East recovers it. They'll take over at the 41, their own 41, 40, I'd almost say. Wow, that was
a close one.
No one from the West wanted to jump on the ball.
We'll see. You never know. There could be a pick 6 here as well. Gene Struthers, maybe they'll run it just because they're ahead. Yeah, they're in victory formation. Wow.
I gotta say though, if this is how the game ends, it's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be after the first half.
Yeah, and for the West not really clicking for the first almost, more than the first half of the game, I would say it wasn't until like the middle of the third that they started coming alive. Defense held them in there a little bit here or there, but the offense could not capitalize until then. They were able to come back and make a little bit of a game out of it. And in fact, I think they came within 3 at one point. Pretty close. Yep, they're out there with their victory formation. 32 seconds countdown. I'll have to kneel it down one more time. I'd say, kudos to both sides. Ultimately, this has no, ramifications, no impact at all. Just ultimately a fun way to get out there, get the community involved, share some camaraderie with people, with teams that you might not normally have camaraderie with, and or competitiveness across the, from one coast to the other coast. kind of thing, just for fun. Um, Wanted to sort of pull us together as a community, having a lot of fun doing so. So let's take a look at
Even though
the stats. What were you gonna say, Derek?
even though I didn't get to see a single turnover, I think it's
No,
sad.
you're right. It was a very clean game. Look at that,
Oh.
0s and 0. East with a sizable time of possession lead. Other than looks like they had the edge in rushing yards, but the West had the edge in passing yards. Pretty comparable total yardage. 3 sacks by Rocco Rossi, 1.5 by Forrest Delton. For Boston, both of those taking down the West quarterbacks. 147 by Ty with 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals by Caleb Richards. So six of those points, the 6 points that the East won with, were kicked on the foot of Caleb Richards. Without him, it would have been a tied game. Orain Darby out there, 64 yards and a touchdown. Tita Queen had a lot of, I think it said 147 yards, if I remember right. Sam Blotner with 7 tackles. Isabel Blackwell with 6 solo tackles. Those are.
They should give the player of the game to Rossi on those 3 sacks.
You think so?
They should. They should. They should always give it to the defensive player.
It's what is it? I think maybe 25% of the time they give it to defensive player. Most of the time it's an offensive player. Yeah, Tita Queen had 147. It looks like that was the exact amount of passing yards that Ty had. Randy Squarebush with the player of the game, with 87 total yards and one touchdown and 11 reception yards. Not a huge game for him. He had I think one breakout play, and then the we I'm using the word chips and what is it? The chips and dunks, those little things, but for him they're in that 12-yard range. Um, so that are you surprised, Derek, at how this turned out?
I'm actually surprised that you look at the West and you had the quarterback with the most touchdowns
Mm-hmm.
this season and the one that had the most yards, and neither of them really showcased how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting more of that, but I think this game came down to the fact that the West could not get a run game going at all.
And again, as I mentioned, preface the game itself, the playbook is not one that was specifically tailored to the type of offense or the game plan or the defense that's there. Just sort of a hodgepodge pulled together a variety of plays that should make for a fun. I'm very surprised. I had run a few quarters of the game a couple times, testing out, validating that the rosters were working well, and I was seeing, I think in the first quarter at one point, each team had 2 interceptions. And so to have this one finish with 0 interceptions, is crazy to me. I was not expecting it to go quite like this either. But that's the fun part of APF. You don't really know going into this. You do as much as you can to prepare, and it's all about hedging your bets and getting the highest probability of success. But that highest could still be 60%, and just above 50. You never really know going into this how APF is going to be playing it out. And that really showed evident out on the field. I'd say again, the East didn't quite pull away completely. They were obviously the dominant team, most consistently dominant throughout the game. The West, started to come back towards the end, not quite enough. I want to say both sides had a pretty solid defensive line, holding up, whether that was stopping the running backs or if it was getting pressure on the quarterback. Ultimately, I feel like both teams did a great job out there and the best that they could and left it out there. And we've got a championship game coming up this Friday as well.
Yeah, I think if West won this game, I think it would I think the MVP would have been T because I feel like every other pass it was going to her.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Jay Viper had a couple of really solid receptions, but again, looking at the stats that were coming up, Tacoma's quarterback had 147 passing yards, and TD Queen had 147 reception yards. So it seemed like the two of them. Again, this is APF. I built this roster, not pulling from the portal, not pulling anything. This is just me hand coding it all in, based on what the numbers on the portal, but not downloading, not anything. So again, there's no like transfer of anything. But it's really interesting that Ty and T seem to have a connection. And then similarly, that means that Jordan was the quarterback, passing out there to Jay Viper, who had a couple of um, solid receptions out there. So that means at which both of them are on San Jose. It just is really interesting. Um, how that sort of worked out. There must be some sort of APF magic happening in this, because there are human barriers between what happens in the SFL and what I put together here. So, uh, Johnny, what are your thoughts on how this went, especially from like a quarterback's perspective?
Yeah, no, I think the game played out. I mean, when you look statistically, at time of possession was a big factor in it, and even Randy Squarebush getting player of the game. But it was a battle of the defenses, and even Squarebush having 87 yards, with the West only having 47, I think he stood out. Um, but again, I think the East managed time of possession, and that they took control of their offense, and that made all the difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, these defenses, both sides came to play. Um, it is a stacked defense. The ability that these new players have come in and really, through progressions, have shown up here today and proven, on both sides at all positions, that they're here to play. And I'm excited to see where, what impact that they can have, whether that is even at, nickelbacks and dimebacks for these defensive backs, or OLB twos out there, that kind of thing. They're bound to be making those impacts for their teams that uh, draft them, which is 72 hours away, I think. So, Daniel, with what you were able to watch, what did you think about it?
Well, the most disappointing thing is I didn't get the chance to say Mickey at least once, so getting
There you
that in
go.
right now.
Perfect.
What I saw was pretty good. It looked like it was a bit of back and forth game. I never seen the first half. You guys said one team came out slow, the West came out slow to the gate, but that
Yep.
happens. Like things
Yep.
like that happen in any type of game. But they clawed back, and there was a good showing towards the end. Thought they
Yeah.
had that onside kick, as long if only the West could have get a chance to get their hands on it.
Yeah. I'd been curious to see how the game would have played out if they would have been able to, there was only a few, I think maybe 45 seconds or a minute left in that last quarter. But you never know. That could have been, with the two timeouts that they had left, could have been the difference. You never know. Yeah, Daniel, you were saying, you were correct that the East came out swinging, 14-0. It was at one point, as we were heading into, the end of the second half, or second quarter. Um, and then, yeah, something must have happened uh, in the locker room for the West. They really started to kick it back up to gear. That defense really came to play. There were a couple, shiny moments, but they just weren't quite able to complete their drives in that first part of the third quarter, and then they started cooking a little bit more. But then I think that at that point the defense might have been, starting to get a little gassed, out there, and not able to hold off the East, who then just simply, even with the little chip shots of a field goal here and there kind of thing, wasn't able to they weren't able to hold the East down. So, but yeah, so we have a show tomorrow night. So this aired tonight, and then tomorrow night, same place, same time, we'll have a show. We'll be previewing the big championship on Friday night, which is huge, and then, yeah, tomorrow night we're come join us in the general voice chat, our voice channel in the Minor League Fights and Insights. If you want to join the show, come on live. We'll have some live conversations, little interviews, little chatting, and just hanging out as we wrap up. We inch our way towards the championship and the draft coming up. And as people have said before, in some of the, at least in the Madison locker room, yeah, as soon as you're drafted, they change your roles like right away, and you sort of leave your current family, your team locker room, and all of a sudden you appear in another locker room. This is a great place, and the Fights and Insights server is always there for you guys. So even if you move on from the SFLm general chat, which you'll lose access to if you do get drafted, it's a great place to reconnect with those that might not have been drafted, or reconnect with those that have been on a different team. So yeah, we're just looking to build a nice collective, inclusive community here that can help transition you from minor leagues and into the big leagues. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out or prepare them. So when you come in to the general voice chat tomorrow, if you want, then yeah, we're welcome to chat along. And then following that is Say It With Your Chest tomorrow night. We're going to try to keep it to an hour tomorrow, from 7 to 8 Central, because then at 8 or 9 Eastern, Say It With Your Chest with Eddie will be on. So I want to respect him starting his show then. But yeah, that's our plan for tomorrow. And then next week, next Wednesday, so a week from tonight, we're going to do sort of a finale. That's, congratulate people that have gotten drafted. Maybe we'll do another, VC live chat and talk with the people that were drafted, and just really celebrate the end of what is like the end of the season 5 minor league season, and it's sort of an end of an era, and it sort of might feel like that as you move into bigger and better teams kind of thing, and new locker rooms, and moving from a big fish in a small pond to a big fish in a big pond and try to make your name out in the pros and things. We're here to help you transition into that. So any final words from Derek, Johnny, or Daniel?
Yeah, actually, I was going to point out too for tomorrow. I know some people talked. I was talking to some people about the voice chat thing, and they said, and some of them said, "Well, I already did an interview," and I said, "Doesn't matter, just still come on."
Yeah. That's the thing, with tonight too. Earlier on, we saw Deion Hawkins, who is the owner of Tulsa, in here. He's like, I'm checking out, the possible draft picks. And so even if you were on recorded, someone might have seen you, but coming on again, it can only help you out more, right? Maybe more now that we'll be hours away from the draft. Coming on at that point, there might be owners and GMs listening and watching the show tomorrow that either wouldn't watch the recorded one or missed it live when we did it, a month ago or 2 months ago. So the more the merrier. Johnny or Daniel?
Yeah, I'm just excited to talk about, tomorrow night's show, to, talk about the championship game. I'm really excited about draft speculation. It'll be a fun time tomorrow night. So everybody tune in.
Definitely. Yeah. Seeing Albuquerque with Ottawa, I will have to look back. We did a super way too early picks, and Daniel picked Lincoln. We'll have to go through
we're
that.
not going to talk about that anymore.
Let's go. I'll go through that, and that'll be a topic of conversation. Who picked either Albuquerque or Ottawa to be in the championship, and who did they pick to win? And we'll see who said what in that. And if you haven't checked it out, you can go check that out beforehand. Just a simple one of our channels over in the Discord server. Daniel, any thoughts from you? Any final words?
Biggest thing I'm gonna say is take this weekend as much as you can for all the rookies. The draft time is a spectacular time, once in a lifetime usually, unless you're like Johnny Reno, who's there for 3 or 4 seasons. But for the most part, it's a wonderful experience. Take it all in, enjoy your time, because it doesn't come or happen often. And no matter if you do get to push to the major leagues, you can still make an impact, no matter how less of a value you are compared to other people. You can still make an impact right into pros as soon as you get out. So
Yep.
Just keep playing.
Daniel's DMs are always open on draft days.
It's true. My DMs are always open on draft day, and as far as I know, I don't think I'm doing any of the drafting stuff. Then no one has contacted me, so my DMs are definitely open for anybody that needs help because I'll be watching the entire way.
Cool. Well, I appreciate Derek, Johnny, and Daniel. I appreciate your involvement tonight, your involvement so far with the show, your involvement with the minor league players, and just everything that you do for the league. Really appreciate you as people. Wouldn't have better partners doing this show than the three of you, and those that have been helped out. John Fowler, Robert Cherry, previously Jacob Clear, anybody that has played a part, and especially you, the viewers. Without you, there'd be no show. And so just want to be able to celebrate you guys next week after the draft, and the confetti is settled down. We'll bust open some Chablis, some I'm trying to think of some Hennessy if you want to. I don't care. Some champagne, whatever your drink of choice is. Let's come and celebrate next Wednesday as we move into getting closer for the convention in week 1 next month. So I
Or
think
Axel,
yep,
I just want to point out too that if there's any rookies that have any draft questions or whatever, I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone that our DMs are open. Ask questions. That's what we're here for.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
and that's what your coaches are there for. That's what each other, variety of different people. I know in the locker room, both Ron Haynes and Young Vaught in the Madison locker room have been asking questions, so they've gotten answers. So you can feel free to ask some of your peers if anybody knows, or ask the SFLm Gen Chat. There's so many people that know a variety of different things. It's just being open to asking the question. And to me, the only stupid question is the one that goes unasked. So feel free to reach out to anybody to find the answer. And if they don't know the answer, then they know who to reach out to usually to find out. So
Well, I have a stupid question if you want to answer. Why the hell did I think that at 32 years of age I can go back and play basketball?
I think it's all the waffles on the brain.
Oh my god.
No, you should. I imagined maybe now I've got this picture in my brain that you've got, like, you strap or duct tape waffles around your knees to help protect them in case you fall down.
I need it at this point. I'm telling you.
After, like,
I'm
the
flopping
bruise.
over there on the court.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm 41 right now, so I don't know how you do it out there at 32. So
I played
um
30 or 40 minutes today. I'm dead. I'm seriously dead.
gotcha. Cool. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. And enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you guys back here in 22 hours. So, all right. Good night, everybody, and take care.
See you later.
Good night.